Hello, relatives. Welcome to this week's Schlagbite and the forthcoming Thanksgiving for November 12th, 2012, entitled The Messiah Comes on Shabbos. Just days before Hurricane Sandy hit the East Coast, I spoke in New Haven, Connecticut. This is where I lived from 67 to 70 while I was taking my psychiatric residency at Yale. I was in New Haven to address the Nursing Leadership Forum. They were looking at the future of healthcare, and I followed a technology expert from Johns Hopkins who suggested that better nursing care and job satisfaction were going to come from mastering the new technology. And when I spoke, I encouraged them not to exchange the holding of hands and the touching of hearts for the ease of handheld computers and video cameras that would allow them to see patients at a distance. I said that their greatest joy since tradition has come from the satisfaction of touching people, reaching out to patients, and promoting healing. A nurse's connection with a patient has always represented the soul of medicine. I spoke on a Friday afternoon, the Jewish Sabbath, Shabbos, and I told him a story about holding my mother's hand while she was dying and singing to her on her deathbed. My mother was an observant woman, and one of the highlights of her week was the lighting of the Shabbos candles. Every Friday night when she lit those candles, she covered her eyes because she didn't want to be blinded by the light of the coming of the Messiah. And even if the Messiah didn't come, she would always then put her hands on my head and bless me. And I always felt her unconditional love. After I left home, I used to call her every Friday night. For my mother, if the Messiah wasn't going to arrive, then my call might be the next best thing. The following morning was cloudy as Sandy was beginning to come, and I strolled the streets of New Haven, went back to Yale and the apartments to where we lived. Two of my daughters started school here in New Haven, and the third was born here. Our apartment was next to a park, and every Sunday I'd walk with my older girls through the park to get the New York Times at a drugstore. They'd get a sweet treat, and then on the way back, going through the park, we'd sit under a ramada and look out over Long Island Sound, and I would recite a poem, the same poem. And that Saturday, I walked through the park and I went to the drugstore, which was no longer there, but the ramada in the park was still there. And I sat and looked out over the water, and I felt my girls at my side, and I recited the poem. And the tears, they trickled down my cheeks, and I saw a beam of light pierce through that cloudy sky. And in that flash of light, I felt my mother's hands on me, blessing me. The Messiah comes on Shabbos, and the message is always love. Stay in love, relatives. This is the season of Thanksgiving. Saying thank you is the simplest, most heartfelt prayer that I know. Say thank you for the love that's been given to you and spread it around. I say this for all my relations. Mitak Have a great week.